On your mark, get set. We're riding on the internet.
Allison, can you explain what internet is?
It spans the globe like a superhighway. It is called internet.
You write to it like mail?
The first thing that you need to know is that the internet is amazing and it's changing every day.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sika, and I put out content every week talking about true crime cases, morbid reality, and various internet oddities. So if you enjoy that kind of content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out some of my previous videos while you're here. Today we're going to be investigating the murder, or rather the consensual homicide, of Sharon Lopatka. The events took place in 1996, and it's reported to be the first case where an arrest for the murder was made primarily on email evidence. Now, before we jump in, I do want to make a disclaimer that this case revolves heavily around topics that are sexual in nature, including fetishes, pornography, and adult language, so viewer discretion is advised. Sharon was born in Baltimore, Maryland on September 20th, 1961, to her parents Mr. and Mrs. Abraham Denberg. When Sharon was 2, her family moved from Baltimore to Akron, Ohio, where her father became a prominent cantor at one of the largest synagogues in the area. The family's devout Jewish faith caused her to rebel as she got older. She began her elementary education in a Jewish school, but eventually switched back to public. In an article from the Charlotte Observer, an old teacher of Sharon's told reporters she had started rebelling even back then, making it clear she wasn't interested in adhering to the tenets of Orthodox Judaism. In high school, Sharon played field hockey, volleyball, and was part of the school choir. She mainly kept to herself, struggling to fit in with her peers. One of her friends, Brenda Birnbach, stated she was a little more hippie than everyone else, a little freer. She didn't have a lot of friends, and if she thought that you would be friends with her, she'd leech on to you. But most of the time, she was alone. Sometime after her graduation in 1979, she met her husband-to-be, Victor. The couple bought a home in Hampstead, Maryland, before getting married in 1991. The marriage led to a lot of drama due to Victor's Catholic beliefs. Friends of the Denberg family believe that the marriage was part of Sharon's rebelliousness. Others believe that this may have been her way of separating herself from the rest of the family. Around this time in the 1990s, technological advances and modern programs such as America Online caused a boom in internet usage that took the world by storm. While Victor made his living as a construction worker, Sharon took advantage of the internet to make a little money on the side. Her and a friend started a new website called House of Dion, which focused on selling home decor guides. Each guide sold for $7 and used a myriad of clickbait titles to hook users into buying. Sharon also ran multiple advertising websites, including one for her premium psychic readings phone line. In addition to these money-making ventures, Sharon also marketed pornographic content under her alias Nancy Carlson within the Usenet discussion threads. Now I want to pause here for just a moment to talk about Usenet. Usenet was similar to a bulletin board system and was essentially the precursor to internet forums that are used today.
One of my favorite parts of the internet is Usenet.
Archives of the Usenet posts can be found on Google Groups dating all the way back to 1981, which is where most of the screenshots you're about to see come from. I'll leave a link in the description below to the Google Groups page if you have any interest in exploring those archives. As Nancy, Sharon posted multiple advertisements regarding various VHS tapes of porn that she had either directed or starred in. The video description typically catered to a particular fetish, and the advertisement was posted to the relevant forum. Using the Google Usenet archives, I was able to find some of her old posts. One of the most extreme advertisements in the collection asked forum members in the title if they wanted to see unconscious women on VHS. The ad continues to describe the contents of the video as showing the real beauty of the, quote, sleeping victim. Women either forced or willingly drugged, chloroformed, beaten, or hypnotized into a long sleep. Other advertisements posted as Nancy included videos of feet, extreme weight gain, large women crushing men, and even custom video services. Now, Nancy wasn't the only alias that Sharon went by. In fact, there are likely numerous aliases floating around across different alt-sex forums that were used to satisfy her own sexual desires. Gina108 was the screen name used on August 9, 1996, on a post in the alt-sex weight gain forum, which read, "I've been looking for a feeder now for a while and I can't find one. My name is Gina and I am presently at 235 pounds. My weight goal is 475 pounds. I am not interested in an email correspondence or a phone feeding. What I would really like is the real thing. I'm willing to be force-fed to meet my goal if necessary. I am also willing to relocate if that's what it takes to find the right feeder. I am only looking for serious replies. I'm hoping someone out there will help me out and share in the most erotic experience of their life. I don't want to break up any marriages, so if you're married, please don't respond to my post. Thanks for listening." Sharon posted in the forums again as Gina108 on August 22, 1996, this time to the alt-sex necrophilia forum, titled, "Want to talk about torturing to death?" which read, "Hi, my name is Gina. I was wondering if anyone out there would want to talk about the subject mentioned above with me. I kind of have a fascination with torturing till death. Of course, I can't speak about it with my friends and family." Sharon received numerous responses offering to fulfill her dark fantasy, but they were quickly withdrawn once they realized how seriously she meant to death. One man by the name of Robert Glass persisted and was willing to give Sharon what she wanted. Robert was a 45-year-old computer analyst, recently divorced from his wife, Sherry Harless. The two split up after Sherry became upset that Robert spent more time on his computer than he did with her. This led to Sherry logging into his email account one night to find several violent and disturbing emails that he had sent under pseudonyms like Toyman and Slowhand. Robert and Sharon met about 6 months after his divorce in a pornographic chat room, and she quickly divulged her torture fetish to him. The two sent over 900 emails back and forth, detailing the scene that would ultimately end in Sharon's death. On the morning of October 13, 1996, Sharon informed her husband that she was going to travel to Georgia to visit some friends. She also left behind a note saying that she wouldn't be returning home and to not go after her killer. She continued, "If my body is never retrieved, don't worry. Know that I am at peace." She left home in her blue Honda Civic and traveled to Baltimore's Pennsylvania station, which was about a 45-minute drive. By 8:45 p.m., Sharon arrived in Charlotte, North Carolina, where Robert was waiting for her in his pickup truck. The pair then headed back to his mobile home in Lenoir. A week later, on October 20th, Victor grew more concerned and filed a missing persons report for his lost wife. He provided the police with the emails that were shared between Sharon and Robert, which led the investigators to file a search warrant for Glass's home, taking note of the detailed exchange of sexual torture between the two. Police had a hard time believing that a woman would actually want to walk into a situation where she would be murdered, so they decided to keep surveillance on Glass's home, hoping to see that she actually was still alive. After 3 days and no signs of Sharon, the investigators obtained the necessary warrants and searched Robert's home. Inside the mobile home, they located several items belonging to Sharon before noticing a section of soil that had recently been turned up right outside the front door. After digging to a depth of about 2.5 feet, they hit a knee. It was Sharon Lopatka. Glass was arrested at work shortly after and held without bond at the Caldwell County Jail on charges of first-degree murder. Investigators who searched the premises also found child pornography, which led to additional charges being filed. In the interview following his arrest, Glass admitted to fulfilling Sharon's torture fantasy, while also indicating that the death itself was an accident. He told the investigators, "I don't know how much I pulled on the rope. I never wanted to kill her, but she ended up dead." The case dragged on for around 3 years until January 27th of the year 2000, when Robert Glass pled guilty to a reduced charge of voluntary manslaughter. He was sentenced to 36 to 53 months in the Avery Mitchell Correctional Institution. He was also sentenced to an additional 27 months for a federal charge of second-degree minor exploitation. 2 years after sentencing, on February 20th, 2002, Robert died of a heart attack while in prison. He was only 2 weeks away from finishing his sentence. Sharon's death raised many questions about the safety of meeting people online and was a huge topic in debates regarding internet censorship. On one hand, we have people who believe that this case proves why censorship is a necessity in order to protect users, while on the other hand, anti-censorship activists believe that there are plenty of alternative ways to express your beliefs without needing to share personal information on the web. The case also garnered a lot of attention from psychiatrists who didn't really have a good understanding of the BDSM culture or atypical sexual desires like sadism, masochism, or asphyxia, which ultimately led to a lot of interest in researching the use of asphyxia during intercourse. Today, there are around 250 deaths each year in the United States involving strangulation during sexual activity, most of which occur while strangling oneself during masturbation or solo play. What fascinates me the most about this case is the concept of consenting to your own death. Even with Glass telling officers that Sharon's death was actually an accident, there was ample email evidence to support her desire to be killed during intercourse. Consent is one of the most important factors in any healthy sexual relationship. But at what level of bodily harm is consent not enough? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, so go ahead and leave a comment below and let me know what you think. As always, thank you for joining me this evening, and I'll see you again real soon.